everybody, welcome and welcome back. I am CrisTheGirl. Today we find ourselves at Disney's Animal Kingdom, and we're going to be talking about some new stuff that's going to be happening here at some point, inevitably. We've talked about this already on the channel before, but we're going to talk about it again because it seems like that day is coming ever so closer every single day, and that is the, well, we're going to be talking about Dinoland today. Dinoland USA, and the, well, its imminent demise. Let's just be honest about it. It's going to be going away at some point here, and this is really sad. This is really sad for me. I'm going to say this right now up front here for any of you who don't know this, who are just clicking on this video for the first time. I used to work here at Disney in general, but I used to work here specifically at the Animal Kingdom and specifically at Dinoland USA. I worked all of the attractions there, so the Boneyard, Triceratops Spin, Primeval Whirl when that was a thing, and also Dinosaur. I was a trainer there, and I worked there for a little over a year. On top of that, I grew up here in Kissimmee in the Orlando area. My mom was a cast member here, so we went to Disney all the time. I literally grew up in these theme parks. So there's a lot of factors going on here for me personally with Dinoland specifically. I have a lot of history here, and I'm sad. I'm really sad. I'm very, very sad that it is going to be going away at some point. So we're going to go to Dinoland. We're going to hang out. We're going to enjoy it. I'm going to point out some things, share some cast member stories, and talk about the recent updates as far as Dinoland goes, because there have been some recent updates. Talk about what may be going into that land, and yeah, just enjoy this beautiful day here in Florida, soaking up as much Dinoland time as we possibly can. So anyway, without further ado, sure do appreciate you all clicking on this video. I hope that you enjoy it, and let's go. Also gonna go ahead and grab a park map because I'm kind of just now realizing someday Dinoland's not gonna be on this thing. So I might as well grab a map while it's still on there. Kind of realizing I probably should have done that for attractions that we've seen go away in the past. That might have been a good souvenir to have, but that's fine. We got one for Animal Kingdom. Also, someday Dinoland USA will be gone from the signs as well. Also, probably tough to be a bug. Let's be honest here. It's hard to see because of the position of the sun right now, but here we go. Dinoland USA, the classic gate, exploration, excavation, exaltation. And passing by the Trilobites stand here, we're gonna head right underneath the Olden Gate Bridge. Gotta point out the sign over here as well. I have no, because of the way that the sun is right now, I have no idea if you can even see it, but welcome to Dinoland USA, the friendliest fossils in America. Definitely didn't always used to be Donald's Dino Bash, by the way. This is, in my mind, like a more recent thing. To kind of, sort of, not revitalize Dinoland, I wouldn't give them that much credit, but just to like have something going on here. But yeah, these gaudy banners and such were not here when I was working here about 10 years ago. One of the things that I really want to talk about in this video is how amazing Dinoland is, and that is not a bias because I used to work here. That is a genuine fact. Alright, it's a genuine fact. There's so much theming going on inside of this land. So many tiny little itty-bitty details that a lot of people just kind of blow past really quick. There is a whole story going on here, and I tried to explain that as much as I could in my last video. I'm going to kind of go over that a bit again in this one too. Additionally, they didn't used to blare the music in here, and it wasn't pop music. It was a certain playlist that they played here in Dinoland, and I hate that they have changed that. It makes me really, really, really sad. All of the music was like dinosaur themed, and it was really, really cool, but hey, whatever. Anyway, we'll move on. But anyway, the Boneyard is where this story really starts, because this is where they found the very first, now this is all the lore, this is all the theming of this land. So this is where they found the very first dinosaur fossil here at the Boneyard in Diggs County. We'll actually head inside of the Boneyard a little bit later. I don't want to go in with my coffee. I want to finish up my coffee first. But nonetheless, let me show you the signage that they have out here. So you are about to enter an active dinosaur dig site. The Dino Institute has opened this site for your enjoyment and to inspire children of all ages to learn more about the mysterious world of dinosaurs, which is pretty great. And honestly, one of the things that like really blows my mind about the fact that they are seriously going to be switching up this land, what child doesn't like dinosaurs? Like seriously, what child isn't absolutely fascinated by dinosaurs? They do have some animals here in Dinoland as well. Like they have the storks here, and they actually are sheltering their little babies right now. Let's get a little closer. Here we go. Look at the storks. Those are some big birds, but look at the babies underneath them. Aww. Also, somewhere in here is a Asian brown turtle. Actually, I see it moving all the way in the back. Now that I just said that, I don't know if you all will be able to see it, but he's kind of moving around all the way in the back there. So anyway, I just wanted to point out there are actually animals here back in Dinoland as well. The next thing that we got to talk about here is Restaurant Osaurus. This is a very, very well-themed restaurant. So this is supposed to be basically like the excavation where all the paleontologists are hanging out. It's like their base camp, essentially. So there's gonna be a lot of photos in there, a lot of documentation going along with that theming, like this is a base camp for the paleontologists, for the students here that are excavating the bones right across the street from us at the Boneyard. Now I keep saying students, and I say that because the people who work here, the paleontologists here in Dinoland, have quite the sense of humor. Can you see that up there, the water tower? It says eat Osaurus. They wrote Osaurus at the end of that as well. This really cool old Airstream outside here too, this trailer. See, they put Osaurus at the end of International. So they have quite a sense of humor, the paleontologists working here. The whole thing is supposed to look kind of like a makeshift place. So like this is supposed to look like a cabin, like something you would find in ski country or something like that. But you can tell that they have also added on like a bunch of random stuff. Like there's a whole like metal enclave in there, and they've obviously added the Airstream, which we saw earlier too. There's a basketball hoop up there. They've got lawn chairs and coolers and stuff on the roof. It's supposed to look kind of crazy, and like people have just sort of inhabited this restaurant that just stood here and used to just be a normal restaurant. I will just do a close-up on some of the detailing up on the roof here too. Got the tin can wind chimes. Someone's hanging up their laundry outside of the window. There's a bunch of dinosaurs, little dinosaur figures up on the top there too. There's a bunch more tin cans. It's just supposed to look kind of silly. You know what I mean? Like college kids are here and they're just like, they've just inhabited this place, taken it over, and put their random silly stuff out everywhere. Another close-up here, I just realized that the plunger arrows here are going on that water tower. That's pretty hilarious. There's the bucket filled with them, and then they can pull them across to the other side here with the rest of the plunger arrows. That's hilarious. Also, gotta point out the dinosaur weather vane. I mean, how adorable is that? Come on. We've entered inside of Restaurantosaurus, and you can see how it has kind of like that ski lodge cabin sort of feel with all of the wood, except for instead of like moose heads or elk heads or whatever hanging on the walls, they've got dino heads, which is kind of funny, although they do have some antlers up at the top there. And it's somewhat common knowledge that here in Dinoland, Animal Kingdom, and Disney in general, they used to have a contract, a partnership with McDonald's. This used to serve McDonald's food. Right when it opened, it was McDonald's food. I very much remember getting you know, fries and a burger here. This was before I was a vegetarian, and you had like little dinosaur McDonald's toys, and it was super, super, super adorable. Granted, it's very possible it's still McDonald's. Look at all the salt they're using, apparently. Taking a look at the walls over on the side here. This is what I was talking about. We've got a lot of photos, a lot of documentation. This side here is specifically talking about, it specifically has newspaper clippings. Remember newspapers? Yeah, me either. Anyway, there's a lot of them in here talking about the Dino Institute and the Time Rover. Past perfect. The Dino Institute's Time Rover is a mammoth hit. Dino Institute's Time Rover stuns scientific community. There's a bunch of them, bunch of these clippings in here, which is pretty dang cool. This magazine here, Dynamite, Dino Institute President Dr. Helen Marsh rules the museum world with her amazing new time travel technology. So there you go. Theming. I dare anybody to tell me that there is any other land anywhere except here in Animal Kingdom, because this is the most well-themed park of all time, that is better than this. Like, seriously. I'm just going to read one of the clippings in here. The Dino Institute hasn't always been at the top of leisure travelers' must-see list. In fact, for decades, it has struggled to attract visitors despite sitting atop the richest deposit of dinosaur fossils in the United States. But then came an event straight out of the pages of science fiction. Recently, the Dino Institute opened its Museum of the Future, featuring a trans-dimensional tour of the prehistoric era and a chance to view dinosaurs in living, and I do mean living, color. Tourists are pouring into the area, filling up the local hotels, and the I Survived Extinction t-shirts are all the rage. Just a little blurb in there, and actually that is going to really tie into stuff that we're going to talk later on, specifically with Dinorama later on. The bulletin board in the middle here, yes, we are going very, very detailed on this, folks, very detailed. But this is kind of more of like a one of those boards where, like, say you're at a college or whatever, and you're just putting up like random, like those random posters and stuff. Like, for example, poker at my place, 7 p.m. signed by Animal, who used to be one of the DJs for the Dinoland radio station that they used to have here and no longer have here, but that's fine, whatever. There's also a flyer for a lecture by Dr. Shirley Roux, Hawaiian Shirt Day. Look at this adorable little dinosaur here. And also, I'm noticing on the notice board, look at that. There's a postcard of the lodge. This is the lodge we're standing in right now that they have commandeered into their little work site here. That is so cool. Here's another little gem here. This flyer, this blue flyer in the middle, this week double feature, Journey into the Center of the Earth, with the animated classic short, Gertie the Dinosaur. Gertie standing in the studios, Disney's Hollywood Studios right now. So, wow. That's really cool. And then this side of the bulletin board has some more newspaper and magazine articles talking about dinosaurs and such. These don't seem to be specifically Dinoland stuff, but maybe even actual newspaper articles, if I had to guess. It's talking about the Arches National Park and like Utah and stuff like that. So yeah, there you go. That's just one. That's just one bulletin board here inside of Restaurantosaurus. Also flanking it is all of these photos of dig sites of fossils. And just a wide shot here of the dining area of Restaurantosaurus. Again, the cabin ski lodge sort of feel in here. It is really cool. I think I pointed this out last time, but I love the chandeliers, the lamps. So cool. There's a lot of details in here too, as you can imagine. Lots of fossils, little dinosaurs, books, things like that. This is over by the drink area. There's two dinosaurs here fighting over a burger, which is pretty hilarious. More fossils hanging up on the walls. There's a huge Triceratops head right over the massive fireplace in here. And then inside of the room over here is the vehicle maintenance area, or vehicle maintenance-osaurus, I should say. That was that tin can thing that we saw on the outside of Restaurantosaurus, and you're gonna see that it is actually in fact themed, yes, to a vehicle maintenance bay. And take a look at this. They've got car parts in here, oil cans, there's oil all over the wall, and drawings, automobileosaurus, there you go. Really cute. So much detail going on inside of here. There's car parts hanging up on the ceiling as well, and chains, and also of course a bunch of dinosaurs that have been drawn in oil. Look at this one, it's a little wrench, a wrenchosaurus. There's also this drawing over on the side here too, which is pretty dang cute. So much detail. And then inside of this room in here where the lounge is, and you can get some drinks and such, it is again themed. It's more kind of like a camping room in here. They've got cots in here and chairs. There's flashlights on the wall, thread, maps, of course tons of cute little dinosaur figurines and actual fossils inside of here too, because remember, it's an excavation site. They got to put their fossils somewhere that they found that they can clean. There's gloves and hats and such in here, down to even the seating back inside of the actual lodge area is also themed. It looks like chairs that you would find inside of a cabin with the wood features going on, so down to every last little bitty detail. There's even a photo of Walt Disney himself with some dinosaurs that was obviously from, actually that probably was from the train ride over at Disneyland. Walt Disney loved dinosaurs too. There's actually some concept art in here from Fantasia. The Rite of Spring part, that was dinosaurs. That was always my brother's favorite part. He loved dinosaurs. And yeah, Walt Disney was a huge fan of dinosaurs as well. So Restaurantosaurus, there you go. We could have spent even more time in there. In fact, I could do a whole video on just Restaurantosaurus. There is so much in there to look at and to see, but I think I picked out the highlights. The rest of the stuff in there is just a bunch of dinosaur photos and fossils and posters and all of that good stuff. Really honing in the theme of this is where the paleontologists go when they're done at the boneyard, digging up the bones to hang out and clean the bones and, you know, study and you know, sleep and all of that good stuff. Work on their vehicles, apparently. So yeah, I honestly, just based on Restaurantosaurus alone, this is the most well-themed land in all of Disney history, in all of theme park history. You all can fight me on that, but I am making that statement right now. The only thing that could rival it is any other land here in Animal Kingdom. Joe Rohde is truly, like, him and his team have just made this theme park so beautiful, so well themed, and nothing else can rival it. Like, seriously, nothing else can rival it. And it's one of the reasons why I am so very sad that it's going to be going away, because you know for a dang fact, whatever they put in place of this is not going to be even close to as well themed as how it is right now. Look at all the tiny itty bitty details that we just looked at. How are they going to replicate that? They're not going to do it. It's just not, I don't know, I just don't think that it's going to be possible. Okay, next up we've got to talk about the Dino Institute, and all of that good stuff. So okay, here we go. First we have to say hello to Sue, though. This is a replica of Sue, which is an actual Tyrannosaurus T-Rex fossil, the most complete Tyrannosaurus Rex ever found. So this is the museum that they opened up, because obviously they're finding all of these fossils, right? They gotta put it somewhere. They gotta make a place to display these fossils and share them with the world. And this is also, of course, where they have developed the super secret technology of the Time Rover machine. This ride in general has its own story, its own theming, and I still want to make a deep dive specifically on Dinosaur the Ride, talking about my time here, when I worked here, when I was a trainer here. I know a lot about this ride, and it's very, very interesting, very fascinating, and like I said, it has its own story as well, so I'm not gonna really touch on it too much in this video. It's gonna be long enough of a video, and we will be back. We will be back, but that's the general like overview. So the Dino Institute, this area here, is very scientific. It's very serious. It's very educational. So where the boneyard over that way, and like Restaurantosaurus and like all those crazy paleontologist kids over there, they're kind of silly, kind of, you know, they take it seriously, but they don't take it that seriously. You know, they're kids, they're college kids. How seriously can they really take things, right? The Dino Institute is the opposite of that. It's serious. This is where the scientists are, where the scientists are working. And so it has more of a serious tone here. That's why you don't see Osaurus at the end of everything, or little dinosaur figurines everywhere. And as far as like theme park history goes here of Dinosaur, it used to be called Countdown to Extinction. So this ride was made before the movie Dinosaur. If you don't know, if you're not as old as I am, there's a movie out there, it's not a live action movie, that would be literally impossible, but it's a weird movie called Dinosaur that was made after this ride was built. And after that movie was made, Michael Eisner at the time really had a lot of hope, a lot of, I don't know what the word is, but he really felt that movie was like seriously going to take Disney to a new level. Like, he put a lot of hope into the movie Dinosaur. So they renamed this ride to that movie to help, you know, synergize it all, and thus Dinosaur was born. I've always liked Countdown to Extinction a heck of a lot better. Out in front here where you see Aladar, the iguanodon, used to be a Triceratops. Countdown to Extinction used to be its own thing. So I wanted to really kind of mention that and bring that message home here for you all, because one of the things that disturbs me about all of the stuff that could be coming here is we know pretty much for a fact it's going to be an IP, right? It's going to be based off of something, off of a movie or whatever it may be. It's going to be based off of something. It's not going to be an original concept. Dinosaurs in general is an original concept. Everything in this land is original. There's no movie tied to this stuff. Yes, there is a movie Dinosaur, but that was made after this ride, so I would argue that that is not a valid argument. The ride was built first, and it was called Countdown to Extinction, and it had nothing to do with the movie, okay? Nothing to do with the movie. If you watch the movie now, then you know it has nothing to do with this frickin' ride, okay? So all of this is original. And it makes me really, 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 really sad that they're going to get rid of original concepts, original things for IPs, for more movies, for more TV shows, or whatever the heck it may be. Yeah, it's upsetting to me. And it's getting toasty now, so it's a good time we're going to head inside. I can't ride this ride anymore, unfortunately. Now, the last day of this being open, guess who's taking a Dramamine and riding this ride? Me. But for now, we're not going to ride this ride. We're just going to go through some of the queue here really quick, and I'll just point out a couple of things. So here we go. Just walked inside, and like I said, this is a museum, and look at that. It's a museum. We've got cabinets in here showing off various fossils. There's lots of signage. So if you want to take the time and like read it all, you totally can.
Whoa! Suddenly, without warning, small meteor showers begin to pepper the earth, creating explosions and firestorms. The frightened dinosaurs race for cover. Then a giant asteroid slams into the sea at 60,000 miles an hour.
So hopefully you can hear that, but that is Bill Nye, the science guy, who will interrupt your line waiting inside of here to talk about the dinosaurs and give a little bit more information on it, specifically the comet that came and destroyed most life forms on Earth. This is always one of my favorite rooms, and one of my favorite rooms to work as well. It's always very soothing in here. I don't know, with the music and just like the museum feel of it all. Always love the murals in here too. Are just really cool, and yes, so you know, somewhat disturbing.
Hello there. Welcome to our little trans-dimensional joyride, folks. I'm Dr. Seeker, your friendly controller, and a heck of a paleontologist, if I do say so myself.
The smell, the sounds in here, it brings me back. The amount of hours I have spent in this building, wow. So many. Have you had your Alioramas today? Again, always remember that this used to be sponsored by McDonald's, and I'm pretty sure that's what this sign used to say. Have you had your Alioramas today? Thanks to this really adorable dinosaur here, we are now heading into Chester and Hester's Dinorama. Dinosaurs the way they were meant to be, big, green, and fun. This is the part where I start feeling the feelings. Dinorama, because I spent most of my time here at Chester and Hester's Dinorama working Primeval Whirl, which used to be over there, and Triceratops Spin, which is still there. Alright, so as far as the lore goes, as far as the theming goes, essentially, like all good roadside attractions, Chester and Hester decided to take advantage of the fact that there were a lot of fossils being found here. There's a lot of hullabaloo over in this area. If you remember that article clipping that I read earlier, it talked about how people were flocking to this area. They were flocking to Diggs County because of all of the fossils being found. So they, being the opportunists that they are, Chester and Hester, they decided to set up camp here, build Dinorama, and it's supposed to be a gaudy roadside attraction sort of thing. You can even see they literally put a road here to really like drive home the fact that this is a classic roadside attraction. Because of that fact, everybody who works here at Dinorama is technically a cousin. That was our theming. That was the thing that they told us to call each other as cast members, was cousins. Like, hey, cuz, or check with my cousin over there, because Chester and Hester's is a family-owned thing. So everybody, all of the people who worked at Dinorama here at Chester and Hester's were all cousins. We were all supposed to be related somehow. It was one of those things. I am 100% sure they don't do that anymore. We actually really didn't do it that much because it's just kind of weird and nobody understands the theming of it. Like, you have to really know your Disney lore to know that. So for us to randomly just call each other cousins was like weird. Like, an average park person coming here, average guest, that's the word, would not know that deep of the lore. Here comes the duck himself. Donald for Donald's Dino Bash. Woohoo! Yay, Donald! Yay! And here comes Daisy as well. Of course, you have to have Daisy at Donald's Dino Bash. Hi! You're so pretty. You look so pretty. Thank you. Why isn't it Daisy's Dino Bash? They should change it. We're actually gonna go kind of all the way over into this dead-end area here. Beyond that fencing is cast member stuff. We're actually gonna be talking about that a little bit later. But for now, I just wanted to point out the billboards on the side, literally again, of the road here. Diggs County, US 498. Diggs County, US 498, because that is when Animal Kingdom was opened, April 1998. So that's where that comes from. This billboard here is so cool. It's so detailed. So you have a billboard for the Dino Institute there. You can see Adventure into the Past and Dinosaur, Discover Zoo, the world famous Tyrannosaurus Rex, etc., etc. This is very much a billboard that was built for the Dino Institute, so it's more like on the scientific, serious side. But then in the corner here, you got our pal here, the crazy green dinosaur. But if you want some real fun, visit Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama. So like I said, they're kind of like capitalizing off of the whole dinosaur craze that's going on here in Diggs County. So they are the wacky, weird side of it all. Also, this other beautiful billboard here, welcome to Diggs County. This is one of my favorites in here too. That's so cool. And also this sign right next to it, which says Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama parking lot. Used to be 50 cents, now $2. Very roadside attraction, always upping the charges there. I wouldn't know any other theme park that would up their prices, or parking, or charge for parking, or anything like that. Huh? I mean, where on earth would they get that idea from? So to be honest, I don't know. I could have looked this up, but I'm choosing not to look it up. I don't know if Chester and Hester's Dino-Rama was always in the plans to put here in Dinoland, to be honest. I know that this was a later addition to this area. It wasn't always here. It did not open with Dinoland. I know that this was kind of like a Michael Eisner sort of idea of, hey, let's do something somewhat cheap and gaudy in this area and call it theming. So that kind of makes me think like this wasn't an original idea. But nonetheless, I've always kind of liked it. Hot take, I've always kind of liked it. It's a cool theme. I don't know, I like roadside attractions, maybe that's why. It's very bright and colorful. It kind of is like the other side of dinosaurs, where it's not so like scientific and cold and clinical, but like more colorful and fun and wacky and weird. And I don't know, I kind of like it. Now the rides obviously in Dino-Rama, look, they're not the greatest ever in the world. We're going to talk about Primeval Whirl in a second here, and obviously T-Spin is just your basic spinner Dumbo ride. So there's not a lot like really going on here, and you can definitely say that they just kind of cut corners with it all and just put in like the cheapest attractions that they could. Like, I 110% agree with that statement. But nonetheless, even before I worked here, this isn't even a work bias sort of thing. I always thought it was a fun theme. And yeah, I don't have a problem with it. We're gonna talk about the gift shop here next. And to be honest, I sat on the side for a little bit, and oh my gosh, look at Chip and Dale though. They are so freaking cute. That needs to stay around though. That is just the most adorable thing with their little dino suits. I was sitting down for a little bit because it's like, oh gosh, the next thing I'm gonna cover is gonna be so freaking detailed. This completely negates everything that I just said about this being just a cheap, quick theme sort of thing. Granted, I think the gift shop was built along with Dinoland initially, like with opening of the park, if I'm not mistaken, but nonetheless, this is mostly a Chester and Hester Dino-Rama themed gift shop. So we're going to be talking about this next, and wow, oh wow, oh wow, is it detailed. This is another one you could do an entire video on easy. So just a quick look at the signs on top of the roof here. This is going to be like a classic roadside gift shop sort of thing here. And look at all the billboards going out of existence sale. Everything must go. They've got the asteroid, prehistoric prices, mammoth deals. We're erupting with gifts, merchandise of extinction. It's fossiliferous. All of these like crazy billboards, these signs that you would find going alongside of the road in random states, and I love it. I seriously love it. This building here is essentially supposed to be kind of like a gas station sort of deal, so you will see the gas pumps here. There's actually a few of them. There's a couple also by the where the meet and greets are for the characters around the corner. I'll point that out in just a sec, but they have one here too. Dino gasoline. You've got dino power. This is the back side of the gift shop, by the way. We'll take a look at some of the signs here. Prehistorically low prices. Welcome to our dino store, and it does say Chester and Hester on there too. It's got their silhouettes. Also always really liked these dinosaur drawings, these cartoons on the side of the building here too. Super cute. Again, like kind of re-honing in that theming of this is more of the wacky side of it all. Oh, and look at what I noticed up there. Some more dinosaur wind chimes. Why don't they sell those? Okay, and here we are inside of the gift shop now, and as you can see, there is a lot going on in here. And once again, I'm gonna make this very bold statement. Somebody out there tell me where there is a more well-themed gift shop out there. Because I don't believe you. This is the most well-themed, crazy gift shop maybe in theme park history. I don't know. Just gonna put that bold statement out there. Putting that bold statement out there. But look at all of these dinosaur figurines up here, hanging from the ceiling and hanging out around the train that goes around here too. There it is. It's over on the other side. There it is. It's coming around the corner here. Okay, here it is, coming around this way. There's the train. They've got, of course, dinosaurs on there too. I just saw Woody as well. Adorable. I also just noticed this, but these little stuffed animals here, they totally used to sell in Dinoland. I had one. I totally had one. So that's pretty cool. Also noticing some Godzillas hanging out in the background there. Again, this is supposed to be like a gas station sort of thing, so even the drink holder here is themed to that. And taking a look behind us here, look at all these adorable dinosaur keychains. I wonder if they used to sell those here too. I don't know. Fossil fuels. Again, honing in that gas station theme here. These dinosaurs hanging out with the Coke bottles up at the top. Oh boy, that dinosaur's seen some better days. Your innards are showing, buddy. This dinosaur here might be one of my favorites. He's made out of measuring tape and some wire and string. It's super, super cute. Here's another old Coke machine. That's pretty cool. I don't think you can buy anything out of there, although there are some Coke bottles and more dinosaurs on top of the machine. And there's Mickey and Pluto for some reason. All right, just gonna pan across here so you can take a look at some of the detail in here. So cool. Oh, there's the guard dino. He's the guard dino. That is adorable. Every time I walk in here, I see something new. And that's amazing. Look at the dinosaur pinatas up there. These dinosaurs were always some of my favorites. They're like parachuting. They all have little dino parachutes. It is just so stinking cute. So detailed. You could spend a whole day in here and you would pick out new things. Also, all of the dinosaur themed posters lining the walls up here as well. It breaks my heart to think that this is gonna go away. They're just gonna tear all of this down, throw it in the dumpster, give it to the Lakeland Antique Mall, or whatever it is, and it's not gonna be here. And that seriously breaks my heart. And we gotta take a moment, of course, to say hello to Chester and Hester. This is Chester and Hester right here. Hello, Chester and Hester. Hanging out in this corner here. Oh, Disney, I will pay you a lot of money for that photo. A lot of money. Also always liked this dollar bill that is framed in here too. It very much gives like this was the first dollar bill that they ever got. Here's another really cute dinosaur. This one made out of a gasoline pump. Oh yeah, and this one made out of a funnel too. And look at this. They're not gonna make it. They're not gonna make it. Also love these golf clubs on the wall here that are painted to be like dinosaurs. Those are really cute too. And Hester's Dino Rocks. A nice little display over here. Made out of rocks, but also like music themed. Disney, I will pay you a lot of money for some of this stuff. You need to reach out to me, please. This crate here says Chester's Pet Rocks, 1996. Also small bones in there apparently too. Pet rocks and stuff like that, very roadside attraction sort of thing. So I love that. And just taking a look at the entrance in here too, you'll notice, again, it's supposed to be like a garage. And look at that, there's a garage door right above us here as we are about to exit out. And while I'm thinking about it, here are the gas pumps that I was talking about, right next to the character meet and greet. All right, let's go ahead and start talking about Triceratops Spin and some of the rides here over in Dinorama. So like I said, this is a ride that I used to work. I'm not going to do a deep dive on this because there's not really too much to it. It's a spinny ride. I could definitely get into the details of it all, but I'm not sure how interesting that would really be. And look at those dinos fly. I certainly hope whatever they put inside of here that it's child friendly, that children can actually ride these rides, because this is one of the only things inside of this park that children can ride. And it's always fun, you know, a spinny ride. You can go up and down, tilt forward, backward. The kids always have a great time on it, and it would be a shame if they filled this area with rides that they can't do, you know what I mean? Also, kind of miss the really bad fiddle and banjo music that they used to play during this. It was very, I don't know. It was annoying, but man, do I miss it.
Looks like our new dinosaurs are landed, so please stay seated. When they come to a complete stop, make sure you get off your belongings and then walk to the exit gate.
Bye-bye.
Hey, Spinners, it's Chester here, reminding you for your safety to stay seated with that seatbelt fastened good and tight as you spin. Riders in the front row can use their lever to fly higher or lower. Riders in the back row can use their lever to tilt forward or backward. Ready? Then let's go for a spin.
Hopefully you heard that. That was Chester speaking. In fact, he says it right at the beginning. Hey there, this is Chester. Blah, 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 blah. So I don't know. Just a cute little detail there. And here's the front of the attraction. Triceratops Spin. All right. We're going to talk about Primeval World now. So when I initially got the job here to work in Dinoland, it was my first full-time job here at Disney. And I was initially slated to work here. I was hired here because Primeval World was about to reopen for the second time, if I'm not mistaken. Unfortunately, it wasn't ready to be opened. In fact, it wouldn't be ready to be opened for another several months. So I was stuck at the Boneyard and Triceratops Spin for a while there. Primeval World, where do we even begin with that? This was a problematic ride for reasons. I'm just gonna go ahead and be honest with you all. I'm not sure how much it matters anymore. I'm just gonna be honest with you all. This was a crappy ride. I don't know if anybody really liked this ride. I liked it when I was a kid. I thought it was a lot of fun. But obviously it wasn't the best ride in the entire world. Basic mouse roller coaster sort of thing. But the real problem with Primeval World, and the fact that it's not here anymore behind us, is because, well, few people have passed away on this ride. This ride has killed a couple of people. I don't know if people know that or not, but that happened. That legitimately happened. And it happened after, or no, not after. Wow, not after. Before I worked here. So obviously the ride opened whenever it opened, whatever year that was. and then it was shut down for a while. I think several times. I don't think it was just twice. I think it was several times. And that's why, because it literally killed a couple of people. We won't go into details on that. Yes, I know how they were killed. We're not going to talk about that. But out of respect for, you know, the families and the people who actually died on this ride. That's why it's not here. It's not because it was just a crappy ride and it kept breaking down and all of that stuff, but there were actually legitimate, not good reasons for this ride being here. It was dangerous. What else can you say? It was a dangerous ride. So yeah, it's not here. And it makes me sad. I mean, it shouldn't be here. Probably shouldn't have ever been here in the first place, let's be honest. But it makes me sad in the sense that that ride filled up so much space here in Dinorama, obviously. And it was so loud, like it had so many different noises and, you know, signs that moved, and it was all the kinetic motion of it all. And all of that is gone. So it's just very quiet back here, very silent, and not a lot going on in any way, shape, or form. And it makes me really, really sad. I miss hearing the cuckoo clock that went along with it all. I miss hearing the whoosh of the comets and the whoosh of the ride and all of that stuff. It really makes me sad in that respect that it's not here, and this whole area feels like a wasteland. But ultimately, it's a good thing that the ride is not here anymore. Again, probably another thing that maybe should have never been here in the first place. And yeah, that's Primeval World. Now it's just a blue fence and a whole lot of nothing. Yeah, they could put something else here though. Like, I understand Primeval World's not here. There's no other rides in this area. There's nothing going on. I agree. I get it and I agree, but there's other things that you could put in this space. There's other things that you could put in this space. Also take a moment to acknowledge all of the games over in here as well, which are always a lot of fun, as well as the snack stands that they have over here, like the carnivores. This has always been here. The Dino Whamma, which literally like hasn't worked for like well over a decade, but for some reason it's just still hangs around. Brontoscore over here. The Fossil Fueler, which is my personal favorite. Pachyolophilosophus. I should have looked at that sign before I pressed record. And rest in peace to the ice cream cart that used to sit here. That was a trailer shaped like a dinosaur, and it was super, super cute. So rest in peace to that. And of course, we gotta acknowledge the Cementosaurus leading the way in the side of Dinorama over on this side. Chester and Hester's Dinorama used to be like a orangey yellow color when I was working here, and now it's a it's a nice green color. All right, we're gonna circle back and head into the boneyard now, just like I promised, and we're gonna check out a couple of things in there. It's really, really hard to show a lot of stuff in here. Lots of kids running around, want to respect that space, obviously, but there's a few things that I'll point out. Like the xylobones. That you have to absolutely smash your knuckles to get to work. Also, these cabinets here. Oh boy, that you have to be really strong to open. You hear that? I hope so. Playing a song that they used to play in here, Born to be Wild. Yes. Well, I wonder if this still works. Let's see if this guy is in here. No one's hanging around here, so we can do this. I'm gonna have to use a lot of hand sanitizer after this.
Oh, you made me drop in. Close the door.
It still works.
Keep that door closed.
Hope you can hear that. Yeah, it still works. Also, this is the only playground in all of the Disney parks, period. Like, this is the only one left. The only place where the kiddos can run around, go on slides, do the nets, do all the stuff, get that energy out. This is it. There are no other ones. Right now at Epcot, it's Flower and Gardens, so they have like a little playground there, but that's temporary, I'm pretty sure. So this is it. And I think it's gonna be a real dang shame that they're gonna get rid of this because, yeah, okay, it's a playground, but first of all, it's very, very well themed. And second of all, it's the only one on property. And this is a great place for the kids, again, to run around. They love it. It is busy in here. And by the way, in case you were curious, if you didn't know, yes, these are shaped like dinosaur bones. We're up at the top of these 3 slides here, and I wanted to show this section because there's a lot of details in here. Again, going back to the lore of it all, we're talking about paleontologists, students here who are digging up bones, so this whole space, this whole area is supposed to look like that. So we got a hangout area in here, some tables and chairs. There's also a fossil recovery list, like board sign thing over here too. Funny story about the slides. So like I said, I used to work here, and one of the things that we used to do to new recruits, new trainees is, look, this is Florida, so it's really, really humid here, and it gets like really like dewy and gross and swampy in the mornings. There's water everywhere. For even if it didn't rain that night, there's just water everywhere. So one of the things that we have to do, and I've had to do at all of the jobs I've ever worked at Disney, is wipe down everything in the morning. Benches, chairs, trash cans, everything. And the boneyard was no different. And one of the things we had to do was get all of the water out from the bottom of the slides, because there would just be a pool of disgusting water at the bottom of the slides. So one of the things that we would do is we would have the new recruits, the new trainees, just go down the slides in the morning, because technically you're supposed to do that as an opener. We never really did that because, again, the slides are like disgustingly wet, but you're supposed to. Anyway, we would have them go down the slides without taking the water out first, and they didn't know that there was water down there. So their butts would get like all wet, and they would get all wet. It was not the nicest thing ever in the world, but it's one of those like recruiting things, like a hazing sort of thing. I'm pretty sure they don't do, I don't think they do that anymore. We're gonna head across the Golden Gate Bridge here and go check out the dig site really quick. A lot of kiddos playing around in the dig site area, so I'm not gonna show it, but essentially it's this weird like pebbly sand stuff, and the kids can grab some buckets, some shovels, and just start digging around the fossils. And it's just, it's really fun. Seriously, when I worked here, I had kiddos come in and they literally were there for hours, or what seemed like hours. Their parents had to drag them out of this area because they just loved it so much. And inside of here, inside of this cabinet, we've got some more theming. Those aren't shovels, brushes, brooms, that's what the word is. Wow, words are hard. Brooms, but there are shovels in there too, and actually we use these at the end of the night. Whenever you close, you put all of the sand back over top of the mammoth that they're digging up. But yeah, there's hammers in here and hard hats, all of that stuff that, you know, one would need, of course, to dig up fossils. Oh yeah, and this fan happens to look like something as well. I've got a soft spot for the boneyard because this is where I started my career here in Dinoland. I began here at the boneyard, spent a lot of time here, trained a lot of people here, and it was not the funnest thing ever in the world. A lot of people hated working the boneyard. It's a playground, and you're essentially child police here and making sure people don't run or, you know, keep their shoes on and all that stuff. But I don't know, it was a lot of fun, and in a way having that very simple job was actually really, really nice. You kind of just get to walk around and hang out, and that's about it. Now that we have all of that out of the way, let's talk about the future. Let's talk about what do we think is going to be here in Dinoland? What's going to replace it? Well, the latest news, which isn't very very recent. The last D23 thing that happened, they showed us some concept art, and I'll put it on the screen here for you so you can see. I can't remember if they elaborated on what they think it's going to be or not, or if we just all sort of speculated on it based on what the concept art is, but the popular consensus is that it's going to be an Indiana Jones themed / Encanto themed area. So the natural thing for Disney to do would be switch Dinosaur over to Indiana Jones, because that's its sister attraction right now over in Disneyland. More or less the exact same ride and ride track and all of that stuff. So it'd be a pretty easy switcheroo, you know. Dinosaur is such a unique ride system. I don't foresee them just completely demolishing it and starting over from scratch, personally. I could very much see them just reusing the ride system and just retheming it all to whatever it's going to be, Indiana Jones or whatever. I could definitely see it being Indiana Jones, because that is the, in my opinion, cheapest, laziest, simplest solution to this quote-unquote problem. And then the other part of it all is an Encanto-themed area, which, based on the concept art, seems like it would go in like the Dino-Rama sort of area, as well as potentially like the Boneyard area too. And I don't know if anybody really knows what that's going to be, but I think, again, the speculation is some sort of walk-through, meet and greet, bullcrap sort of thing. And yeah, I think that is based again on the concept art. It seems like that's the way that Disney is going with all of this. There's always been the speculation too that Zootopia was going to be put in this area, which is definitely a possibility as well. Who knows? They haven't said anything in stone yet. They haven't said, yeah, this is totally what it's going to be yet. But I think we can all agree that that day is coming pretty dang soon now. One of the reasons why I wanted to fire up the camera and do this today, besides the fact that I have been wanting to do this for a little while now, is the fact that just recently we all found out that Disney filed permits to build, to work a little bit on the backstage area here at Animal Kingdom. So just north of Kali River Rapids, they put in permits to be able to build, to put in a few trailers backstage. And these trailers are probably going to be like Imagineer trailers, just like office spaces for, you know, like executives and Imagineers and stuff to be able to work and all of that good stuff while they're here at Animal Kingdom figuring out the Dinoland situation. Also, there's permits to like do construction or whatever along the road, again, behind the scenes here at Animal Kingdom. So the entire perimeter of Animal Kingdom here, this is a very, very, very large park, by the way. Massive, the biggest park of all of the 4 parks here at Disney. So there is a road that is backstage that goes the perimeter of Animal Kingdom. I've driven on it many times before. A chunk of that road back there, stretching from those trailers just north of Kali all the way down to Dinosaur, that stretch of the road right over here backstage is where they have requested construction. So the theory behind all of that is, well, Imagineering and executives and such are getting ready to set up shop backstage, and you know, they need a clear path, a clear road to be able to do construction and walk around and, you know, all of that good stuff. So that's where the rumor is coming from. It is all now speculating everybody's interest in this area. And what are they going to do with it? And are we going to hear news on it any day now? Another thing and another reason why I wanted to get out here again pretty soon is because Universal is opening up Epic Universe next year, and they're testing rides, they're building things. It is coming. It is practically here. And this is no secret, but Disney is in big dang trouble. Big dang trouble. Because what do they have to show for it? Universal's building a whole new theme park with several new lands, one of them being probably the most anticipated theme park land maybe of all time. Disney's screwed. Like, they're screwed. They've got nothing to show for it. The next big thing that's coming here basically is Tiana's ride over in the Magic Kingdom. And honestly, like, yeah, that's exciting and that's big-ish news, but that's not that big of a news. They're not building a whole new ride or a whole new land, and certainly not a whole new theme park. So it's like, your move, Disney. What are you gonna do? So I could very much see them pushing and fast forwarding a Dinoland project, because they got nothing else. They got nothing else. They got nothing else. There's nothing else here. And unfortunately, Disney is so cheap and lazy and not willing to trust in themselves to build a new theme park or whatever it is, to just completely erase a beloved land and just start, you know, use what's there to build something new. And that's really sad, because there's so much land, so much space around here. They easily could just make Dinoland awesome again and build a new land here at Animal Kingdom to fulfill the needs that they feel they need to fulfill with this theme park. It would be very, very easy for them to do that. And don't let them fool you. They have enough money and enough manpower to make that crap happen. They are just simply refusing to do so. And I think that's really sad. I think that is incredibly sad. But here we are. What can we do about it? Not a whole lot, besides just appreciate what we have right now. And that's about it. So that's my long diatribe on that, and what we're expecting here. So I'm gonna give you all my honest thoughts and opinions on it all. This is gonna be no surprise to anybody, but I'm not excited about it. I think that it's a terrible idea. I don't think that any of those themes have anything to do with Animal Kingdom, not one bit. And it's really sad that we're just gonna replace an original idea with IPs. I think it's an atrocity, and I absolutely hate it. I think violently opposed is how I feel about it. I'm not excited. Everybody rags on Dinoland. It's a crappy land. There's nothing to do here, etc., etc. And you're not incorrect in a way, although I would argue Dinosaur is one of the best rides like ever created, but okay. But it used to be good. There used to be things to do there. And you can't tell me that the kids don't love the boneyard, that they don't love running around. You can't tell me as an adult you don't love Dinosaur. It's just, it is a great land. It is a great land, and it was a great land. They just let it go. They're not putting any time or attention into it. So yeah, of course it sucks. Anything would if they didn't put time and attention into it. What do you expect? But it comes from a place of, in my opinion, ignorance to say that Dinoland is no good when it used to be good. It's Disney's fault that it's no longer good. And I don't think that the answer to everything is to simply wipe it out, start over relatively new with something new, and call it a day. Why is that the answer for absolutely everything? You know, kids love dinosaurs. Everybody loves dinosaurs. That is literally like a timeless theme. It fits in great with Animal Kingdom. That's what it was always supposed to be. Why? 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 Why get rid of it? Why not just put more time and attention into an original idea? It's actually not hard because you did it before. You can do it again. It's lazy and so many words for how much I hate the fact that they're just switching everything to IPs. It's really distressing to me. And honestly, this doesn't even have necessarily anything to do with the fact that I was a cast member here. Yes, that is part of it. Of course it is. I have memories here. I put a lot of my life into this area, but that's not part of it. It's just in general, like, I hate how Disney is freaking doing this with everything. And it's frustrating, and I'm frustrated that other people are gonna be excited about it. That frustrates me. And, you know, one thing that I hear a lot is, well, Walt wanted it this way. Walt never wanted this place to be stagnant. He always wanted it to be ever-changing, ever-growing, and etc., etc. And I agree with that. I know what you're saying, but at the same time, what if we just took out everything here and made it one gigantic porta potty? How do you feel about that? What if we just took out all the rides and made it one big bathroom? It's changed. It's changing. That's what Walt wanted. Walt wanted things to change, so let's just make it all one big toilet. How about that? So that argument holds literally zero weight. What does that mean? We don't know what Walt would have wanted. We don't know what he would have wanted this to quote-unquote change into. We don't know that. We can't put words into his mouth. He has passed away. That holds no weight. It doesn't mean that we can just change everything because that's how it's supposed to be. What does that even mean? You know, we still gotta have some quality here, folks. That's what separated Disney from the other theme parks. That's what separated it from, no offense, Six Flags. That's what separated it from, no offense, Universal. You know? So I don't know. Those are my thoughts. I have very, 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 very strong thoughts about this. This is literally the worst thing that Disney can do to me, basically, is take out Dinoland. I literally, like, I cry every time I hear new news about it, and I'm gonna be just the most sad when it's the last day. Like, the most sad. So I don't know. That's just my thoughts on it all. So, all of that being said, I think that's actually going to do it for today's video. I showed all of the Dinoland stuff that I possibly could. This is probably going to be a super, super long video, so I really appreciate you all sticking towards the end. Got a lot more plans for Dinoland, specifically. Definitely want to come back here. We're going to do a deep dive on Dinosaur, so stay tuned for that at some point. We are going to do that. But yeah, I just really wanted to come out here, talk more about Dinoland. Like I said at the beginning, it's been a hot minute since I made that video last time, and honestly, I wasn't super happy with it either. So I'm glad I've been wanting to come back out here and sort of redo it and add a few more details and such. So I'm glad I was able to do that. The timing was apt, so we made it happen. Yeah, not excited about this. This is a very bitter, there's no sweet. This is a very, very bitter moment for me. And I know for a lot of people out there who really like Dinoland as well. It's hard news. You know, there's talk out there about, I feel like you're either in two camps. You either love Animal Kingdom or you hate it. and there's like nothing that you feel to do here. A lot of people call it a half-day park, etc., etc. And I get what you're saying, but at the same time, congratulations, you cracked the code. This is not ever supposed to be a normal theme park. That was never the idea behind it. The point of Animal Kingdom was to elevate the theme park. You're supposed to come in here and literally be lost in the theming. And I know that the rest of the theme parks are supposed to be that way too, but Animal Kingdom especially. You're supposed to take your time and look at the details, look at the plants, look at the architecture, find the story of it all, and literally get lost in these lands, walking around and being immersed by it all. That was literally the point. It wasn't supposed to be filled with rides and, you know, attractions and shows and blah, 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 blah. Like, that wasn't the point. That was never the point. And unfortunately, I think that's the way that they're going to be going with it all. And look, I understand supply and demand. People want more rides. How is Disney going to make more money if they don't have, you know, more places for them to do photo pass and, you know, more gift shops and all of that stuff? So I get it. But it's really a dang shame because I've always loved Animal Kingdom, and I've loved it for that reason, because it's a beautiful park. It's not about the rides, it's about the beauty of the park and the message of the park, which is far more important than anything. And, you know, if we're just throwing in IPs and just kind of saying screw it to all of that stuff, I think that that is a real dang shame. I think that's a real dang shame. And I'm hoping that by tying in all of showing you the theming and all of that stuff of Dinoland and the story behind it all, with the news of the fact that it's going to be going away at some point and being replaced by an IP, I hope that this really shows that this is a really cool land, and I'm sorry, call me cynical, but there's no possible way that they're going to make it cooler than this. There's no possible way that they're going to make it as well themed as this. All of the details that we saw today, are you telling me that they're going to put all of those little tiny details into this new land? I will bet you money that that is not going to happen. It's not going to happen. And what's going to be replaced here? A meet and greet? We're going to get a meet and greet for all of this? Great. Cool. I hope everyone's happy and excited about it. I say that sarcastically, but also legitimately, I guess, because, hey, some people love meet and greets, but me personally, I'm not excited about it. I think it's a cop-out. We're getting real here. You know I'm brutally honest when we're talking about Disney. I think it's a cop-out. I think it's lazy. I think it's sloppy, and I think it's a real dang shame. And you're never going to see me on this channel be excited about it. That's just the honest truth. How do I take it from there? So yeah, anyway, those are all of my thoughts about it all. I love Dinoland. I think it's a really beautiful, awesome land. And I'm happy to share that with you all. I'm really happy to share that with you all. So anyway, we'll be back. We'll be back many times on the channel. We're gonna soak it in and soak it up as much as we can until it's gone. And yeah, let me know your thoughts down below. Would love to hear them, whether you agree with me or not. It's okay. I would love to hear from you. And yeah, thank you all again for watching. Really, really, really appreciate it. We've got a lot more theme park deep dives coming up here very soon. Trying to take advantage of the weather while I can. And yeah, I love these kinds of videos, and just taking a closer look at everything means a lot to me, and I know it means a lot to other people out there too. So thank you so much for watching and for being a part of the channel. It means a lot to me. Okay, that's it. We're gonna hush up here. Video's long enough. Thank you all for watching, and we'll dig you later. Bye-bye, everybody.